Welcome to Football Legend Stories, where legends are carved not merely by dry statistics, but by sweat, tears, and the pounding rhythm of the human heart. In the centuries-long history of the beautiful game, some are born kings, while others fight to claim the throne. But today, we turn the page to a figure far more unique, a dancer who spent his entire youth balancing on the razor-thin line between ultimate greatness and eternal regret. He is a man who carried the weight of an entire nation's expectations, yet possessed crystal legs far too fragile to withstand the cruelty of fate. So, is he a genius forgotten by the gods? Or is he simply a prince who, with his own hands, let his crown slip away? Settle in, take a deep breath, and let us step into the mesmerizing, yet bittersweet world of Neymar Jr. The story begins not under the bright lights of Paris or Barcelona, but in the deprivation of Mogi das Cruzes, an impoverished suburb of Brazil. There lived a skinny boy, his legs as thin as dry twigs, yet carrying within him the hot blood of samba. Neymar didn't just play football, he danced with it. His father, a professional player whose career ended early due to injury and the burden of livelihood, saw in his son's eyes not just talent, but a chance to rewrite the family's destiny. He was right. From the cramped futsal courts, where space and time were compressed, Neymar learned to think faster than a heartbeat. He learned to turn the ball into an extension of his body, a loyal dance partner that never left his side. At 14, standing before the glamorous gates of Real Madrid's Santiago Bernabeu, the boy turned his back, not out of fear, but out of a call from his roots. He chose Santos. He chose to stay and become king on his native soil before conquering the world. It was the first decision showing that Neymar always listened to his heart, even if that rhythm sometimes led him down thorny paths. When Neymar debuted for Santos, world football was shifting. The era of pragmatism, tactical machines, and muscular defensive midfielders was rising, but Neymar appeared as a brilliant rebellion. With a gravity-defying mohawk, he glided past defenders like a breeze through a crack in the door. He turned Brazilian league matches into art exhibitions. The early days of YouTube exploded thanks to grainy clips of Neymar performing circus tricks with the ball. He was the embodiment of ousadia e alegria, daring and joy. The pinnacle of this era was not just the 2011 Copa Libertadores trophy that returned Santos to the throne for the first time since Pelé, but the goal against Flamengo, a magnificent solo run, a poem written with feet, earning him the Puskas Award. At that moment, the world realized, this was not just a player, this was the heir to the throne. He was the prince, and the crown awaited him across the ocean. In 2013, Neymar arrived in Barcelona, not to be king, but to learn how to reign alongside the contemporary monarch, Lionel Messi. The world held its breath waiting for an ego clash, but instead received the most beautiful symphony in the history of attacking football. MSN, Messi, Suarez, Neymar, the three South American musketeers turned football into a playful stroll. The 2014-2015 season, they won the divine treble. Neymar scored in the quarterfinals, semifinals, and final of the Champions League. He had touched the summit. But Neymar's tragedy began on his most magical night, La Remontada, the 6-1 comeback against PSG. That night, Neymar was a god. He carried the team, he scored, he assisted, he did the impossible in stoppage time. But the next morning, the photo splashed across newspapers was of Messi being hoisted by fans. Neymar realized a cruel truth. At Camp Nou, no matter how brightly he shone, Messi's sun was too vast. He no longer wanted to be the prince. He wanted to be the king. And the only path was to leave. In the summer of 2017, Neymar arrived at Paris Saint-Germain for €222 million, an insane figure that shattered all economic and moral standards of football. He came to write his name on the Eiffel Tower, to win the Ballon d'Or he so craved. Initially, everything was like a dream. He played football at an alien level, but League One was not a place for fragile artists. It was a league of physicality and brutal collisions. And then, fate delivered its cruelest punishment, injury. Not just once, the fifth metatarsal in his right foot broke in February 2018. It reoccurred in January 2019. Ankles shattered at decisive moments. Every time spring arrived, when the Champions League entered its fiercest stage, Neymar found himself in the stands, eyes welling with tears as he watched his teammates fall. Paris was supposed to be a throne, but it became a gilded cage trapping his talent. He was caught between grand ambition and a body as fragile as crystal. People began to forget the magical dribbles, replacing them with criticisms of his party lifestyle and lack of professionalism. But who understood that for Neymar, football and life were one? He needed joy to play, and he needed to play to survive. If the club story was one of unfinished business, the story with the national team was a tear-soaked tragedy. Neymar was born to lead Brazil, but he had to shoulder that burden during the nation's most regressive footballing era. In 2014, on home soil, the entire nation placed the hope of a sixth World Cup on the 22-year-old's shoulders. He played magnificently, until Zuniga's knee drove straight into his spine. Neymar fell, and Brazil shattered with him. The 1-7 loss to Germany happened without him on the field. But he bore the pain entirely. In 2018, he became a global laughingstock with memes of him rolling on the ground, a defense mechanism of a hunted artist. Misunderstood as cowardice, in 2022, he scored a world-class goal against Croatia, equaling the record of King Pelé. In that moment, he thought he had touched paradise. But minutes later, the naivety of the Brazilian defense threw him into hell. The image of Neymar sobbing uncontrollably on the pitch in Qatar remains the defining image of his international career, supreme talent. But always abandoned by Lady Luck. The 2016 Olympic gold medal was a solace, but too small for his stature. When Neymar signed with Al Hilal and moved to Saudi Arabia, a sigh resonated across the football world. It was an admission of defeat in the race for the world's #1 spot. Had he chosen money, or was he simply too exhausted by the pressures of Europe? But tragedy did not let him go. After just 5 matches, his ACL snapped, a year away from the pitch, a year to reflect on what had passed. Now, returning to Santos at 33, his hair no longer styled, his legs crisscrossed with surgical scars, Neymar resembles an old warrior returning to his childhood home to find a final piece of peace. Neymar's story is not one of statistics, though his numbers are immense. It is a story of emotion. Neymar is the final bridge between improvisational street football and modern industrial football. He is the last one who dared to stop the ball mid-game just to perform a rainbow flick to provoke an opponent. He is the last one who played to entertain the crowd, not just to win. People may call him the prince who never became king, but in a world where football increasingly resembles programmed machines, Neymar's imperfection, fragility, and artistic strokes are what we will remember forever. He could not conquer the world the way Pelé or Messi did. He conquered us with the pain of a tormented genius, and with the beauty of a flower blooming most brilliantly right at the edge of the abyss. That is Neymar, beautiful, unfinished, and eternal, and that creates the Ballad of Neymar, a beautiful melody left unfinished. A masterpiece painted on broken glass. But now, I turn the page to you. When history looks back on Neymar, what will be written? Do you see him as a wasted talent who chased the gold over the glory? Or do you remember him as the last true artist who kept the soul of Yoga Benito alive in a robotic era? Let us know your verdict in the comments below. We read every single one of them. If this story touched your heart or reminded you why you fell in love with football, please hit that like button. It helps us tell more stories like this. And don't forget to subscribe to Football Legend Stories and ring the bell so you never miss a chapter of football history. If you're not ready to leave the pitch just yet, click the video on your screen right now. Another legend is waiting for you. Thank you for watching, and keep the passion alive.